Alrighty, guys. So let's talk about this 1 second. So Rock's been doing the rounds. So Superman is in the after credit scene. He's confirmed it, whatever. But what I do want to confirm that he's been coming out saying that the previous regime at Warner Brothers wasn't listening to the fans, and it took them 6 years to get it done and everything. So here's the thing: when Rock went to Comic Con in July and got booed, he was not happy. He was probably angry. And can you blame him? He got promoted this movie, and Warner Brothers hasn't done a good enough job, nor Discovery has. Discovery didn't. You know what? I'll say this, and I will give benefit to the doubt for these people. Zaslav and company who coming on board, they didn't know what they were getting themselves into with this because they never dealt with this. But Walter Hanaba, and I hope the person who comments on Zack Snyder bullshit, and I hope you watch this video because I want you to listen too. You want to praise Walter Hanaba? Oh, Hanaba, I want you to listen. This is crucial to you so you can understand. Rock has came out and said the previous regime, which is Walter Hanaba and Snarnoff and company, did not want Henry Cavill to come back as Superman. They wanted to erase that. And let's be realistic here. The Flash film that's coming out next year, which they've done, I heard that they're doing some reshoots on that. We're going to kill off Superman to make Supergirl the new super whatever of the universe. That's all being confirmed. Batgirl was supposed to be the new Batman of the universe. That's all being confirmed. See, what they were trying to do was erase the Zack Snyder verse because they knew Zack Snyder stuff. They'd been like, well, they gave you the Snyder cut because they had nothing to put on HBO Max. That's the reason they gave us the Snyder cut. That's the only reason we got the Snyder cut because they didn't have nothing else, and they thought, well, shit, he got this stuff here anyway. Let's just make a film, and this is what the fans want. Hopefully, that gives us some subscriber numbers. It was about subscriber numbers and content. They had no content. That's all what it was. I knew that. I said, well, this is a smart business move anyway. I'm not going to fault them on that or knock them for that because that's not cool. And honestly, I would do the same thing if I had this in the damn library. I'm looking like, well, we could put this on here, which did open a precedence. Now people want the Dave the Ayer cut of the Suicide Squad. Honestly, after the James Gunn version, I don't want none of that because I think that's a better version. I mean, there's nothing Dave Ayer can do that can make me say this is superior than James Gunn's version, which will never, and I mean ever, happen. Do you hear me? But that's a whole nother topic for another day. But yeah, he comes out and he says this in interviews, and it infuriates me because I've been saying it for years that Snarnoff and company were trying to get rid of Henry Cavill Superman, and we're like, why? Fans don't mind him as Superman; they like him. Just reboot him with the same character. That's all you have to do with same actor. But they didn't want to listen to that because of why? You didn't want to pay the man, or you were like, no, let's go away. Let's focus on the females. And we're like, no, do a good Superman first and then bring in Supergirl. Do a good Batman first, or actually have a Batman film and then bring in Batgirl. But they're not doing that. They didn't want to do that. The only one that let that go was Batman. The only film was Batman. And that because Matt Reeves was on it. And they were like, well, let's get Matt Reeves and let's see what we can do, which was a good idea because the Batman film is freaking good. Slow, long, but it's good. Not great, but it's good. But this makes me angry because for the last how many years, the fans have been clamoring for this, and you had the audacity, the nerve to keep ignoring the fans of what they want, and you wonder why you don't make the money. Before people say, well, the Zack Snyderverse was the one. No. Y'all, it started with Kevin Johar before AT&T bought him out, and this was with Kevin Johar, what his name was. When Batman v Superman came out, they got cold feet after the reception. Let me be honest with you. I'm one of those people that gave them the goddamn reception. Oh, I was hot because I thought the film was garbage. The problem is, instead of following that film, correct the course in the Justice League. Figure out what the problem was. They were so scared. They just decided let's make it all campy like the Avengers. They were like, no. The biggest problem, and many people are saying it, Warner Bros. Was fine if they did their own race. They wanted to get that Marvel money. Don't get the Marvel money. Just do your own race. But see, what they did is wasted years trying to catch them, and they actually got further away. Every year they got further away. What really, sealed the deal for them was that Justice League film. That was it. Once the Justice League film came out, it was a nail in the coffin. That was it. There was no way in hell they could have catch up to him no more. Because they pretty much wasted their $1 billion ticket sales right there. The Justice League should have been $1 billion. It didn't need to make $2 billion or all the billion. It should have made $1 billion. It should have been $1 billion franchise right there. But instead, it barely made $600 million because they had incompetent people running it. Like, you don't do a Justice League film after 3 films anyway. If that was, I would have even done that film. I would have made it something else. Batman v Superman should have been world finest. Do I agree that Batman v Superman should have happened in a sequel? Yeah, I thought the world finest idea was a good idea. The world finest storyline. Or Public Enemy storyline. Or Apocalypse storyline. There's so many interpretation of Batman Superman they could have took. They chose none of that. They did their own shit. And I blame that on Zack Snyder too. That's when I blame Zack Snyder on. That Justice League film, he learned from his mistakes. I mean, from the Batman v Superman, and he gave me a decent film. Was it a great film? Absolutely not. It was long as fuck, but it's a decent film. I will rewatch that film again if I rewatched that over Halloween Ends. I gotta talk about that garbage of a film too. But you get the point. When The Rock is coming out stating that he wanted Superman for years, because after that damn Comic-Con, he probably called Warner Bros. Immediately like, you give me Henry Cavill or I'm done. This is my last film. And what The Rock, they're gonna fire The Rock? No. Zaz probably say, yeah, I got no problem with it. That's what the fans want anyway. They want Henry Cavill Superman. They just want a good Superman film. They've been clamoring for a Man of Steel sequel, and they decide to ignore those fans. The people were like, you don't have to follow Zack Snyder's version. Just do your own. Just make a good Superman. They kept ignoring it. Like, why you kept ignoring one of the most popular superheroes on the planet? Without the Superman Christopher Reeve film, we wouldn't be having all these superhero films. And you decide to ignore it? Why? Because you want to do your own agenda, your own bullshit. Where God knows that Man of Steel sequel would have made you more money than Birds of Prey, than fucking, what other garbage they did. Birds of Prey 2, Birds of Prey, and Wonder Woman 1984. And the Suicide Squad, even though I like the Suicide Squad. But even that one too. Give the fans what they want. Say what you want about Kevin Feige in that Phase 4 bullshit. He's giving fans what they want. People have been asking for She-Hulk, they got it. Is it the She-Hulk I want? No, but they got it. People have been asking for damn, Moon Knight, they got it. WandaVision film or TV show, they got it. Doctor Strange, they got it. Thor, more campy and not great, they got it. They asked for Daredevil with Charlie Cox back, they got it. They asked for the Kingpin from that, they got it. He's listening to what the fans want, and that's the biggest problem I had with the previous regime. They asked for Ben Affleck's Batman, we got damn fucking a new Batman. We asked for people, Henry Cavill Superman, we got Supergirl, and we were like, what the fuck? Like, what are you not doing? Like, why are you not listening what the fans want? The fans want Superman. And it kept ignoring to the point where we're like, well, people are not going to watch it. And they weren't. Because the tracking was low. Like, people were like, no, they didn't trust. Because one of all, you didn't give the fans what they wanted. We don't trust you how you do your films. At least you give the fans what they want. You have the audience that are there. But you're doing your own agenda, and here we are. How many years later? I'm happy that what's this? The Rock is doing his best to give us a universe that the fans want. Are we there yet? No, but he's trying, and that's what. And he knew after that Comic-Con thing, he knew. He said, I gotta make sure I make some goddamn money off this film." He had to, because Warner Bros. Was the previous regime did it. And Walter Hanaba was like, "No, we're not going to do that. No, we're not going to do that. No, we're not going to do that." I bet you David Zaslav, he called David Zaslav, "Oh, don't worry. I want Superman back. But we're doing my way." And that's why Walter Hanaba was pissed off. Because we got rid of Batgirl, which I was happy as hell. Because I already knew where they were going. Now, I'm not happy with the animation department, but I'm happy as hell with that. Because that to me was already a writing on the wall of killing off Batman. And now rumors are coming out about that goddamn film too. And the last thing I need is more rage, and I'm just tired of it. But this angers me because I said it for years, and people have been saying it for years, and people were like, "Yeah, the rest of the go, it's gonna be great. You just don't know." I said, "Okay," and it's been bullshit after bullshit. After 1984, I was done. I was like, "Yeah, this is." I don't know where they're going, but I ain't feeling it. You get my drift.